How's everybody doing? I want to show you guys a fly pattern that's been working really good for me lately. I've been fishing streamers. A lot of folks don't think to come out to Montana super early. They kind of wait until the hatches really get going. There's a few midges out. Blue wings are not very far away, but right now streamers are really effective, and we're getting some really nice brown trout. And the river, in some cases, you'll have the river to yourself if you're, fishing in some of the spots that aren't maybe as popular. And one day I think I got all brown, so we're able to I guess let the rainbows do their thing this time of year, because they're getting ready to spawn. So it's nice to be able to focus on some brown trout and get them to eat the streamer for you. So anyway, it's this pattern is a local pattern on the Missouri River. Shop owner by the name of Fred, I forget his last name, but anyway, he showed me this color, and just fantastic. I've been having a great time with it. Here's some of the materials that you'll need. Just Flashabou, and they have some of the numbers up there that you'll need to, if you want it exact. I don't think exact is super important, but I'll say this, and then the third Flashabou color that you need. Anyway, three colors of Flashabou. It's a black, but it's kind of a nickel flash to it. And these are my best guess: a copper, and then a red, and then for the body, I've been dubbing it with a black ice dub, but it really has a purple look to it. And some of the articles, I don't know if you guys have seen them out there, talking about how a fish sees colors. This has got the bluish purple color to it, and it's also got the red, which are two of the triggers that trout kind of see very quickly. And so I'm sure that that's part of it, but it's been really effective, and I've had a few people ask me for a pattern, so I figured I would just throw it out there and say, hey, here's a fly that's working like right now. If you go out there, it's been working on really cloudy days, but it's got some flash, so it should work on those sunnier days too. And yeah, like I said, we've been hooking some nice browns with it. And so here's the pattern, and I'll just also show you real quick. I don't know if this is the 3/16 eyes that I'm using, so it's got some lead in it. And actually, now that I think of it, I have been putting some lead on there as well. I've been fishing a floating line sometimes, and then other times I've been actually throwing some of those sinking leaders with it just to get it down. The fish are still kind of in that slow pattern, so they are in some of the slower water. But we've had some fish that seem like they were lethargic, but some of them that just absolutely crush it, which is super exciting when a fish comes up and just hooks himself and bends that rod right over, and to hold a huge brown this time of year early when you're excited to go fishing is so much fun. So anyway, here we go. All right, one thing I didn't mention, I'll just point out real quick. The hooks that we're using is like a 90-degree jig hook. I've been using a 4, but sometimes jig hooks, at least when I'm nymphing, seem to be on the big side, but these actually seem to be on the small side. If I was taking a stab at this, it feels like a size 8, maybe a 6, but a 4 seems to be a stretch. So anyway, there's our hook. I'm gonna pop that in the vise. Thread, any black thread will do, and I've been using Vivas, and it's been super strong. I just gotta grab and see what I've been using here. Yeah, it's a 6/0, and I can crank on that and it still does. This is a super easy fly, but man, the fish are eating it right now. If you're here, this is at least the last 3 times I've been out, they've been just really cranking on this fly. So we're gonna put a tail on first. It's gonna be a black tail Flashabou, and I've been taking this and taking one strand and getting 2 flies out of it. See if I can just to eyeball it, split it down the middle. Hopefully I don't make a mess of it when I let go of it. That's been the trick. And I did a little bit, but this one up. All right, we're just gonna put this on the thread, and we're just gonna get that tail to be, I always go for about the length or a little bit longer than the shank, so just measure it off like that, and all of your fly pattern's gonna kind of fly from there. And then I'm gonna put some lead on it, and I showed you that L20. You don't need much, you know. I'm just looking to maybe sink it a foot down, and even during this colder time when you expect the fish to be a little bit sluggish, they're coming up and they're grabbing it, and that's fun. Loving it. Can't wait to get back out. You ever notice that when a fly is working well, you're super motivated to tie it? That's what I feel like right now. So here's my lead. I'm just going to cover that a little bit, make sure that it's going to stay solid for me, but that's enough to sink it, especially if you're throwing one of those weighted leaders. And again, this is it's got a bluish purple to it color, and it's UV, so I'm sure that that's helping us as well. So I'm just gonna dub this and cover up that lead, and we'll bring that forward. And it's nice to have a fly that really works and is super easy to tie. So it's not one of those streamers that if you're losing it, sometimes those articulated streamers, and I'm sure they would work, but I kind of like a smaller fly on the Missouri. I don't need a huge articulated streamer, and you're gonna get big fish to eat this fly, so don't feel like you have to have a big tandem monster to get those guys to eat it. All right, and then so we got the body done. We're gonna pop the eye in there, and you need to really crank on this, and some super glue is worth it as well, because these things like to spin on me afterwards. So I'll crisscross it for a little bit, and then what I'll do is I'll come around the bottom, and you can feel when it starts to get, and you can really crank on this with 6-aught. It's funny that Semperfli is just so strong. And I'll just crisscross again, and that's going to be about where I need it to be. I'm going to put a little bit of super glue in there at this point, just to really lock it in, and then when we put the flash in there, this will seat it in there too. Flash doesn't go anywhere, but all right, so here's our red throat, which acts like a hot spot in my opinion. And this is I'm not going to worry about a little bit of waste at this one, since I'm tying on the YouTube channel, and I'm going to cut it right about there. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to throw some copper. And I would say that this fly sinks pretty quickly, because it's a little bit like a Perdigon in far as streamers go. It's fairly lightly dressed, and the Flashabou just doesn't absorb water, and it sinks pretty quick. So here's your measurement. I'm coming back to the tail. I'm just going to cut at the tail. My scissors are getting a little dull. Alright, and it should be like in the middle. You hope that it falls on each side of the hook. I know it looks a little messy now. We'll check it out a little bit later, but we're going to lay some black on there. It's kind of the spine of the minnow, and we're going to be done. It is really that easy. And lay that right down the middle. Here we go. And I'm gonna trim this off same length. whip finish, and we're done. We got a fly that's going to sink beautiful for us. Alright. And I'm not sure what everyone's been using for head cement, but I've absolutely been loving this Bone Dry. Clear. I do have some in black. Doesn't seem to be quite as nice as this clear. And even for small flies, it just seems to be thin enough to get into little spots, and it doesn't bunch up on me. Anyway, it makes a nice head. I like the way it looks. Hit it with the light. That's it. So your flash and grab. This fly is going to ride like this, point down, and those do, it kind of falls right in the middle. And this color scheme with the purple body or bluish purple body and this red throat has been absolutely awesome. So that is the flash and grab that I've been using lately, and it's been awesome. Hope you like it.